Hello Stampers, this is Carrie Vacanti with Stampiphany, a great stampin' idea. Today I want to share a tip with you on how to use this Birthday Blast bundle. This bundle comes with 3 dies. It comes with kind of a tag die, a little swirly streamer, and then of course this starburst right here. The matching stamp set, as you can see right here with the stars, this is the tough part that's a little bit hard to match up. And I even tried with a stamp positioner, a couple different kinds, and it just was not working. So then after giving it some thought, I figured out a way to get these to match up. So the stars in the middle, the image on the stamp and the image on the die, match up perfectly and look nice on your card. So I'm folding a piece of Whisper White cardstock here, and all the supplies will be in the description box below. And essentially this is the card that's right out of the Occasions mini catalog. I just changed the green color to the Pacific Point. So I'm taking some crushed curry and I'm inking up my stamped image here. And I'm just going to stamp that in the upper part of my card base, or the upper part of the front of the card base. And when you have a large image like this, a tip that I always try to remember is it's not necessarily how hard you press, it's actually leaving the stamp on your cardstock for a second or two to let that paper soak up the ink. So now that I have the image on my card front, I'm going to grab my magnetic plate or platform, and I'm going to put my pads aside for right now and just put my card base on there. So we're not going to cut right now, we're just going to use this magnetic platform to help us with the positioning. So I'm taking some washi tape, and on your dies you have a smooth side and kind of a ridgy side. That ridge side is actually the side that cuts. So we're going to take our washi tape and we're going to line it up along the bottom of this die, and we want the sticky part and the ridgy part both up facing you. And we're going to place that down on our cardstock, and the magnetic platform is going to help keep the cardstock flat and keep everything positioned so it doesn't shift on us when we try to put our cardstock on it. So now I have the washi tape up, the sticky side up, and the ridge up, and now I'm going to take my cardstock that I would like to die cut, and I'm going to line it up with the front along the bottom edge. Now you can line it any way you want if you're not doing a card front like this particular card or whatever, but this is a great way to line up this starburst with the die. So now that I have the sticky on the cardstock, I just lift that off, and here we go, it's all lined up. So before you go to die cut, remember to put your cutting plate back on your magnetic platform, because you don't want to directly cut on that, it'll damage it. And I like to turn my cardstock the way you see here. I feel that it cuts better with my Big Shot. Now that it's die cut, you can see that the stars match up great, and that's exactly what we wanted. I'm going to add my greeting on here. Now in the Occasions mini catalog, I believe they just did VersaMark or color on color to stamp the words, but I wanted the words to pop a little bit more. So I'm going to ink my words up with VersaMark here, and then I'm going to actually emboss with it. So I'm going to take it a little step further there just to make that greeting stand out a lot more. And of course that's what you can do with any of the projects in our mini catalog or our main catalog. They're great for inspiration. I have all my catalogs all the way 18 years back, and I love them because there's inspiration in there that you can use and kind of a starting place to bounce off of. So here I'm just stamping my greeting onto my Pacific Point, and I'm just going to take this and add my embossing powder. Now you saw me use my embossing buddy. The embossing buddy, what it does is it takes away the static, but it also takes away any stickiness like from the washi tape that might be there, or maybe some oils from our fingers or whatever. You always want to use the embossing buddy if you can. I don't always remember like I should, but I try to, and it is especially essential if you're using it on vellum. Vellum tends to be a little more staticky than normal cardstock. So if you let your heat tool heat up for about 30 seconds before you take it to your paper, you'll have a lot less warping. Now that we have it embossed, it's time to go ahead and stick that to the front of our cardstock. So I'm just taking some snail here, and I'm going to use my table to help me get this straight on the cardstock. As you see, I'll tip it up, and that's just to make sure that I have the bottom of the cardstocks all lined up flush with each other along the bottom. As you can see, my stars are matched up, my beautiful happy birthday, and now we're just going to add that little streamer that you see in the mini catalog, and that's with this die here. It could be a streamer or a little swirly, whichever you'd like to call it. I'm going to use my fine tip glue pen to do that. I'm putting it on my tweezers right now just to make it a little easier to hang on to. Sometimes I just feel like my fingers are clumsy, so the tweezers kind of help me hold on to it a little better. So I'm just going to add a little bit of my fine tip glue pen, and you'll find that with the fine tip glue pen, one of the features I love about that is the little pin or needle that's down inside the glue pen. When it's shut, it keeps that nozzle from getting all gunky and dried up, so it works. So once you put the swirly down, if you find that you have a little bit of glue that's kind of like oozing out or whatever, get a Kleenex and just kind of gently rub on that, and that should take off most, if not all, of that glue. And that's all there is to this card. This card is really quick and simple. If you use this tip to line up your stars, you really could make quite a few of these and get yourself stocked up for your birthday. So I hope you enjoyed this tip. I hope it's really useful. If it is, thumbs up for me, and I really appreciate you stopping by today, and I hope you have a wonderful day.